Hello, this is Roger from Tapkey, and we are going to see how the integration with Google Calendar can help to administrate in a distributed way the resources coming from a residential unit, or it's basically applicable for any type of distributed access or distributed management of access for installations. So in this example, we are going to use a residential unit which has some shared spaces, such as a swimming pool, a fitness center, and a laundry room. And we are going to follow the next agenda. We have as a precondition that Tapkey smart locks are already installed within the facilities. We are going to have a calendar set up, and we are going to share the calendar with all of the members of the residential unit. In these cases are all of the tenants and potentially all of the people living within the installations. Next to it, we are going to install the add-on on the administrator account. And we are going to set up the automatic sync up between logs and the calendars, and we are going to test the integration at the end. So the general schema on this type of integrations is that we want to allow all of the members of in this case, the residential unit, but we want to grant all of the members of a given community access to reserve specific spaces, specific facilities that can be secured using Tapkey locks, using a calendar, because calendars are a pretty useful tool. We use them in a daily basis, and they can help us to determine if we have collisions or we have issues with the amount of people allowed to use the same space at the same time, or we can have calendar as a general tool for coordinating events and coordinating the usage of specific spaces in a graphical way and in a really intuitive way. So this is pretty much it. In the current example, we are going to take one residential building as an example. The residential building has a swimming pool, a fitness area, and a shared laundry. All of them are already using Tapkey locks to allow access to the people, and the building entrance is also secured using Tapkey locks. Something that we are going to take as an assumption is that the building entrance is not going to be reserved using Google Calendar. The only access that we want to have in a shared way, in a distributed way, is the fitness area access. And we are going to allow all of the people living within the residential unit to reserve by demand the space in a given time window. Okay, so then let's go. I am going to be using two different profiles. I'm going to use Brenda, which is the orange color. Brenda is the administrator of the residential building. So she is the one controlling the access to specific areas. And we have Jim, which is going to control the access to, Jim is only going to use the shared spaces. And so Jim is mainly going to have contact only with the calendar, and Brenda is the one that is going to apply all of the configurations within Tapkey. Okay, so then let's go. The first step is the precondition. So as a precondition, we need to have all of the logs reflecting or having a parity with what we intend to use in terms of security of our physical access in our installations. So in this case, we have the same schema. We have the entrance door, the shared laundry room, the fitness area, and the swimming pool. All of them are logs within the locking system created for that purpose. So this is the precondition step. The second step is that we need to create the calendar resources. In this case, I am going to I'm going to follow the example for the fitness center. So let's create the calendar. So first step is like Brenda needs to create a Google Calendar account, and after creating the Google Calendar account, she will be able to manage access using the calendar tool. I'm going to create an additional calendar, and the name of the calendar is going to be exactly the same, which is fitness, let me check, fitness center area. Going to create the calendar. It takes a few seconds. And here we have the calendar already created. So after creating the calendar, I can come to Tapkey and I can start with the next steps into the installation. Keep in mind that we are only going to follow the example for the fitness area, but it can be followed for all of them. So I'm going to explore the tools. I'm going to click Google Calendar, connect with Google Calendar, and I am going to select the Brenda account. Here Google is indicating the list of permissions which are required. Here we can see all of the permissions required from Brenda. So I'm going to allow Tapkey to access the events and the list of calendars, which is the two elements which are required to be able to link the calendar account with all of the events or the reservations that are going to be created from the Tapkey perspective. I'm going to hit continue. And here we have the exact same calendar list that we have from the Brenda account. We have some calendars which have been created by default. So we have birthdays and Brenda L. Wilson, which are default calendars. We have reminders and tasks, but the one that we are interested in knowing is the fitness area, which is exactly the same calendar that we have in here after the integration with Tapkey. From this specific step, we are going to start linking the logs with the physical areas. So we are going to say that every event created on the fitness area calendar is going to automatically reserve a space in a list of logs. So I'm going to create every event created on the fitness center area calendar is going to reserve this specific log, and I'm going to hit save. From this specific point, the reservation is already completed. Every event created on this specific calendar is going to automatically reserve the fitness area, the fitness center log. Let's continue with the sharing. Until this point, Brenda is the only one available to apply changes on this calendar, and we want to have all of the residents of the residential building to be able to reserve spaces over there. So I am going to go to the calendar in the ellipsis button. I'm going to hit settings and sharing. And then after hitting settings and sharing, I am going to add an additional user. In this case, I am going to add Jim at tapkeyacme.org, which is the user which is a resident of the building. This step is very important. In order to allow the user to reserve independently the space, we need to ensure that the user has permissions to make changes to events. This is the specific option that we need to select. The option below is unsecured, because in this specific option we are going to allow Jim to even reshare the calendar with people that might be out of the residential building. So for this specific step, the suggested configuration is make changes to events and only that. And here we just hit the send button. Here we have. Then I am going to switch to the Gym account. So I have another tab which has a green color, and this is the gym ecosystem. So what should happen is that Jim has received an email from Brenda indicating that Brenda has shared one calendar with him, and the calendar, it needs to be added to the calendar account. So Jim needs to have a calendar account also to be able to interact with the calendar. So here we have let me clean this up a little bit, and we have the calendar that has been sent by Brenda. So until now, Jim has access to create reservations to the fitness area, and we are going to put it to test. So every event that Jim's create to the fitness area is going to automatically give him permissions to access that specific facility of the building. So I am going to do it. So I am going to use Jim. This is like the end user interaction. The only thing that Jim needs to know is to create an event to the fitness center area calendar, and Brenda, it's going to be used to verify that the fitness center is already reserved for this in the same time window that Jim is reserving. So let's go for it. I am going to go to the Jim account, and I am going to select that Jim wants to do exercise between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. I'm going to make sure that this is a reservation from Jim, and Jim needs to select that this specific event needs to be created in the fitness center area. This is important. So let's hit save, and as a consequence, we should see from the Brenda calendar that this event has been created. Something important to verify before jumping to the next step is that Jim needs to be added as an invite as a guest, so that the reservation is really applied from the calendar resource. So here we have this, and the entire event has been created. So let's switch to the Brenda calendar, to the Brenda account. As we can see, we can go to the fitness center log, and in the fitness center log, there is one reservation already created in the same time window that Jim has created it, and everything happened automatically because we already linked the fitness area calendar with the fitness center log. So here we have it. Jim can apply any change. Jim can say that he wants to go to this specific different time zone. So maybe he had some circumstances that are not allowing him to go. So he wants to go from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. and the reservation is going to be modified. Or even Jim can say that he wants to go every day in the same time window. So Jim can say from Google Calendar that he's going every day. And all of the changes are going to be applied in here. So here we have a reservation from Jim every day of the week. Okay, so this is it for this specific scenario of use. Let us know if there are any questions. We are glad to help you with this integration, and see you next time.